America, Kari Lake here, and I wanted to give you a critical update on our fight to save our state. My legal team has been working nonstop, investigating and gathering sworn declarations from whistleblowers and witnesses, building the strongest election lawsuit in U.S. history. Our lawsuit exposes many of the issues that have plagued our election system in Arizona and disenfranchised hundreds of thousands of Arizonans. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Election Day in Maricopa County was an absolute debacle. The election was a sham. Everyone knows it. A recent poll shows 72% of Arizona voters, Republican, Democrat, and Independents alike, agreed that voters were deprived of the right to vote on Election Day here in Arizona. Widespread tabulator and ballot printer failures at 59% of our voting centers in Maricopa County forced Arizonans to wait in line for as long as 5 hours to cast their sacred vote. Over half of all polling locations were inoperable on Election Day. What's an acceptable level of failure in election operations? Is 60% failure enough? Or do we have to have all of the machines go down before we say enough is enough? Election Day operations in Maricopa County were a nightmare, but the issues that plague our system far exceed Election Day. Arizona faced the most egregious case of the fox guarding the henhouse when Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, my opponent, refused to recuse herself from overseeing her own election. And just days ago, we learned that Hobbs, alongside Maricopa County election officials, used their power granted by the Arizona voters to abuse their office and censor their political adversaries, including Arizonans. To put it simply, the people running elections in Arizona worked with the federal government to remove speech that they didn't like from social media platforms so that they could continue running botched elections without criticism or critique. This is an egregious assault on our First Amendment rights. And then the two men responsible for conducting election operations in Maricopa County, you can't make this up, started and supported a super PAC aimed at taking us down. That's right, Stephen Richer, the county recorder, with the help of his friend Supervisor Bill Gates, operated a PAC whose sole purpose was to defeat me, all while they controlled the ballots and the elections. Knowing that, how could anyone believe the breakdown of Election Day operations was anything but intentional sabotage? Their hatred of me and our political movement, made up of we the people, should have been enough for them to recuse themselves from anything having to do with elections. But they didn't do that. Instead, they turned Election Day into a debacle, knowing that our supporters were planning to vote in huge numbers in person on November 8th. In addition to a sabotaged Election Day, my lawsuit includes a declaration from a whistleblower from Runbeck claiming that nearly 300,000 ballots with no chain of custody were counted, infecting the legal vote count, when the election's laws and rules clearly state that they should not have been counted at all. Other whistleblowers came forward to declare under threat of perjury that tens of thousands of ballots did not pass the signature verification process set up to keep illegal ballots out, only for those rejected ballots to be counted anyways, another violation of our laws. Whistleblowers explained how security measures passed by law were blatantly ignored and skirted to infect our election. When that happens, every single legal voter in Arizona, Democrat, Independent, and Republican, are disenfranchised. Also in our lawsuit, surprise, surprise, 25,000 ballots appeared out of nowhere 2 days after Election Day, and many more uncounted Door 3 ballots were mixed in with already counted ballots than Maricopa officials admit to. And also a sworn declaration from a cyber expert who worked 9 years for the company that certifies Maricopa County machines, explaining that the widespread machine failure on Election Day in 59% of vote centers could not have been accidental. The lawsuit is so revealing, and if you want to read it, you can go to our website, savearizonafund.com. It's right there on the homepage. Our movement is so powerful that those running our election system, including the woman I ran against, had to pull out every trick possible to silence our voices and trample on our sacred vote. Now, if they thought we would just sulk and accept the results of a rigged sham election, they were wrong. My resolve to fight for the millions of Arizonans disgusted with years of botched elections is stronger than ever. I want to say thank you to all of you who are praying for me and supporting me in our movement. Please pray for the brave witnesses, whistleblowers, and citizens who saw what happened and documented it, and for our patriotic, courageous legal team. And pray for the judge who's overseeing this case. The world is watching what happens here. We, the people of Arizona, demand honest elections, and we won't stop until we get them. Arizona, I love you with all my heart, and together we will restore faith and honesty in our elections.